Leykis 101, the ongoing on-air adult education course that teaches men how to get more tail for less money. More importantly, we teach women how men think. I'm your professor. This is my classroom. Class is in session. This is where we teach the tenets of Leykis 101. Let's go over some of the basics. This week I actually met someone who said, what is Leykis 101? I haven't heard about that. They knew who I was and did not know about Leykis 101. So I had to review some of the basics. We don't spend more than $40 on a date. We are proud to be known as jerks or a-holes. We don't have lunch dates or coffee dates because they don't lead to sex. We don't date single mothers. If a woman gets a cell phone call in the middle of a date and she answers the phone, we get up, we leave. We eat dinner before we go out to dinner. Eat a nice hearty meal before we go out, and then we get to dinner, just say we'll have a queen salad. What woman would eat more than us? When a woman says, I'm on the guest list for a concert, I'd like you to come with me, or a band appearing at a club, we never go, because some guy in that band is somebody she's done or somebody she wants to do. She's using you as a beard. No doubt about it. We don't buy gifts. We don't buy cards. We don't buy flowers until our first wedding anniversary, if we ever do get married. We don't have serious relationships till age 25. We don't have babies with women we're not married to. We always use a condom because we don't trust these broads and their birth control habits. We don't. The list is long. Many rules have been divulged on this program. And we have students who've been in class. Some of you take a long time to learn. Some of you have had trouble mastering the Hail Mary or mastering not answering the telephone on the weekend, so you appear to be in demand even when you're not. Many of you have not mastered the art of delaying women on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from ever seeing you unless they are guaranteed sex. That's what the other days of the week were made for. You want to see somebody who is in her first of 3 strikes, second of 3 strikes, third of 3 strikes, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday. That's it. Friday and Saturday are for guaranteed lays. And if you don't have a guaranteed lay, you spend that time with your buddies. You do not take any last-minute phone calls from bitches who are asking you to go out with them on Friday and Saturday, because that means they just got dumped by somebody else. They had a date, and somebody called them and crapped out on them. Or they showed up someplace, the other person didn't show up. Then they call you at the last minute as last-minute replacement. No. Absolutely not. It's that simple. Leykis 101 students know that over 30, you cannot be a 10. That's the law. That is the law. You have passed your expiration date. The odometer has gone over 100,000 miles. That's the deal. We also know that when we're 18, 19, and 20, women will not talk to us who are 18, 19, and 20. Because 18, 19, and 20-year-olds are dating much older men who are established, who have money, who have careers. So we recommend that the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds date the women in their 30s and 40s who are just out of relationships or marriages and dying for confirmation that they are still hot. Did you, I saw this movie. Did you see the movie called Something's Gotta Give with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton? Now, this movie is way overly long, another dopey romantic comedy, blah, blah, blah. I think Diane Keaton won the Best Actress Oscar. But one of the subplots of this film is Diane Keaton now playing a woman who was a playwright in her 50s, been divorced. Her husband divorced her and now wants to marry some woman who's like the age of her daughter. And she feels like she's never going to meet another man again, ever. And suddenly it's much more to the story. The movie goes on, it seems like 6 hours, okay. But she ultimately meets a doctor who has to be played by Keanu Reeves. The character is 37 years old, and he's completely hot for the Diane Keaton character. Women like this are always looking for validation, and you young men who can't get women your age to talk to you, rather than marrying a 5 because she puts out, Date women in their 30s, 40s, even 50s if you have to, until your career is together, until you're established. Because down the line, once your career is established, you're going to have 18, 19, and 20-year-olds crawling all over you like hungry dogs if you just wait. So many of you men, and I've told you so many times, so many of you, get involved with or marry the first woman who has sex with you, or the first woman who gives you good sex, when in reality there might be hotter, younger chicks out there. In fact, I always tell you, your trophy wife is currently 13. Don't touch her, don't talk to her, don't look at her. Just remember, once she has fully ripened later on and she's an adult and she's legal, that's your trophy wife right there. That's who you're holding out for. And you bang older women in the meantime. Maybe the mother of the 13-year-old. You bang them now. Later on, that's who you're going to get once you graduate your college, once you get your degree, once your career is together. That's when women want you. Women are seduced by money, power, and fame. Your goal, boys, is to become as educated as possible, make as much money as you can, become as powerful as you can. Then you get the hottest, youngest chicks. No doubt about it. Those are the basics of Leykis 101. If you have a question for your professor, if you have a complaint about the professor's teachings, if you have taken some of these issues into the field and tested them, you want to come back from the laboratory and tell your professor what turned out there, what happened when you used the professor's techniques. If you're angry at the professor, this is your opportunity to add to the classroom discussion right now. Tom Leykis. Woof. Tom Leykis. Woof. 800. 500. Tom.
Women of America, wake up. If you are sleeping with a man that's actually listening to this advice, get away fast.
The Tom Leykis Show. Before it's all said and done, and we go to your calls here at 1-800-5800-TOM. Dorothy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay? I'm on my hands-free.
You're not supposed to be on your hands-free. You're supposed to pick up the phone.
Okay. Here I am. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I want to propose that I'm against your philosophy, and I think you're causing yourself and many of your male callers to be ripped off.
How so?
Well, I think that you guys are missing out, and you...
You mean on 46-year-olds like yourself?
Right, yeah, go ahead, dig into me, but let me make
just telling the truth.
Comment. Okay.
Well, don't tell me how to do the show, darling. I'm the boss here, and you serve at my behest. So we will have a conversation the way I choose to conversate with you.
Yes, master.
Yeah, that's right, dear. On your knees.
Okay, can I make my comment now?
I'll decide once I begin to hear how it sounds. Go ahead.
Well, I just think that the way all this free and easy sex might not be the best way to go. Maybe if you had a meeting of the minds with a woman.
That's impossible. You cannot have a meeting of equals. And those women who are equal in the mind department generally are not up to the task in the body department.
Not necessarily.
Generally.
Well, I just think that men out there should know that if they're in the confines of a committed, loving, caring relationship, they might enjoy sex more. You never know.
Well, generally, we have heard from countless married men who get less sex once a woman has you confined to the slavery of having signed on the dotted line. That is generally the consensus of men who've been calling this show for years.
Well, then they're not communicating, and maybe the guys aren't doing their job.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter who's doing their job. We're not talking about married people. Your average young man wants to get laid, and that's what we tell them how to do.
Tom, do you know what types of things women respond to?
It depends on what kind of women they are. Young women respond to money, power, and fame, and the more you can pretend to have or actually produce, the hotter, younger chicks you get. Well,
I think women respond more effectively to being loved, cared for.
Well, that's what you think, dear, but you're 46 years old. The men who are listening are looking for much younger women than you.
Well, whatever they're looking for, I don't care.
By the time the crow's feet have set in and the menopausal mustache begins to appear, obviously you have to develop other skills. But when you're 19 and have a nubile body, Believe me, women respond to, what can you do for me?
Yeah, well, maybe they don't know better. And
But you know what? That's how we want them.
Well, if anybody thinks free sex is a great thing.
You know what? Everybody with a penis feels that way.
Yeah, but they're being ripped off. You know, when you...
No, they're not.
Two people become one. And guys think that they got off scot-free, but not necessarily. You think,
Sure we do. If I nailed you and then never called you again, I got what I wanted and I moved on to the next victim. Of course I'm not getting ripped off.
Yeah, but you don't... your spirit might have been...
My spirit?
Yeah.
This is not a spiritual program, dear. This is a show for horny guys who want to get laid.
I don't care how horny you are or who you are.
Well, you don't know what it's like to be a man. You don't have any idea.
Well, I just don't think you guys get off scot-free like you think you do.
Well, that's what you think, dear. But I'm telling you, I'm a little older than you, and my preference is still what it always was: young women.
You don't suffer any emotional trauma whatsoever.
Not from that.
Well,
I as long as I have the upper hand, I don't suffer any trauma.
Well, I think people do. Maybe they don't realize it. Maybe they don't want it.
As long as I'm with women who don't have the money I have and aren't as smart as I am, I have the upper hand. Therefore, I'm not traumatized. Maybe some of them are, but I'm not.
You don't think you are?
I know I'm not, dear.
You're affected. How do you know?
Oh, dear. I'll tell you what. If you think I'm affected, I'm waiting for the proof. I'm waiting for the evidence.
Well, I think you have human emotions. You're not just a...
I do. And nothing makes me happier than to make a lot of money and to be able to get young, hot chicks. That's about as happy as I get.
Haven't you ever had anybody you actually cared about?
Oh, my mom. Yeah, sure. People like that.
Wouldn't you prefer to have someone you actually care for?
Dear.
Not just use like a piece of meat?
Dear, you know what? Whenever that comes along, that's great. But in the meantime, and I recommend this to all the guys out there, if you're not with someone you love, get as much tail as you can muster.
Well, then at least help the women out there tonight. You tell.
We're not teaching you about love here, dear. This is not a love program. This is a getting laid program.
Well, it's disgusting. That's gross.
Well, dear, you're not in the target demographic. We're not worried about what 46-year-old females think. You're not in the target demo.
Yeah, but
we really don't care.
Well,
in fact, if you hate the show, that's how I know I'm doing it right. It's like a focus group.
So we're subhuman category.
No, you're just over the hill. You're good to be a mommy or a grandmother or something like that, but you don't have any value to the young men who are out there looking for the advice on how to get laid.
You know, I'm not talking about me. I'm just talking about your philosophy being untrue.
I've told guys that you could be the Mrs. Robinson in a man's life when there's a 21-year-old who can't meet a 21-year-old girl. Yeah, you know, if you want the ego boost of having a 21-year-old guy have sex with you and you think it means you're beautiful and stuff, I think guys should take advantage of that. But other than that, no.
Well, I still think that men are affected, including yourself, whether you...
Well, you say that, but do you have any evidence of it? What's your husband's name?
Robert.
Robert. And you're telling me that Robert agrees with you?
Yes.
He does. And he doesn't listen to our show.
No, if he listened to your show, I'd be upset.
You'd be upset, but you listen to it.
Okay, you have done a good job of hooking me.
Mm-hmm.
But I disagree with you. I just want to beat you one day.
You can't beat me, darling.
Beat you, and I feel bad.
Because the fact is, I have the force of 150 million American men who feel the way I do. And that is, we want to get laid for the least amount of cost, have to listen to the least amount of hot air, and waste the least amount of time on you.
What is the end result of your awesome philosophy?
Hedonistic satisfaction at the end of the day, dear. The same feeling you get after eating a good meal. Or after,
How about adding self-control?
Why do I need self-control? Why should I control myself?
Well, apparently you don't.
Oh, no, I do. Here are the controls I have. If I think a woman has nasty diseases, or if I think that a woman is skanky, or if she won't shut up, I don't go near them. Believe me, I'm selective.
Consequences to behaviors, whether you want...
No, that's what you keep saying, but I'm not seeing them. I get richer and richer, and I feel happier and happier. The more I get laid, the younger the chicks are. I mean, I'm happy.
You're happy going around taking advantage of women.
I'm not taking advantage of them. Nobody puts a gun to their head. I'm not a rapist. Women who get into bed with me get into bed with me knowing what I am and who I am.
Well, they're a victim.
And by the way, unlike many men, I'm very upfront about who I am and what I am, and women know what I am.
Well, I wouldn't buy it.
Well, dear, you're 46. You're out of my target demographic. I wouldn't be with you anyway.
Well, I wouldn't want to.
You know what? There are women who are the mothers of women I've dated who are younger than you.
I don't know what you think. I just wanted to give my opinion.
Well, dear, you can give your opinion. You have the same opinion as the mothers and grandmothers of many of the guys who call in. But the fact is, they're not in our target demographic.
To me, the end result of your philosophy is a bunch of kids running around with no parents and no family. That is the end result.
No parents and no family? Because most of the people out there have parents. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, kids are born out of wedlock from,
And I recommend that they not be. Believe me, I recommend that the young men use condoms. I recommend abortion.
No.
I recommend all kinds of ways to prevent unwanted pregnancies.
What if one of your screw partners doesn't use her birth control? What are you going to do?
Well, I tell the guys to use rubbers. That's what I tell them to do. That's what I've done. I've made it to age 47 without a child. That's pretty good.
And please call them screw partners.
What? Don't tell me.
Screw partners.
Dear, don't tell me what terminology to use. Whatever I've done has worked really, really well for me. That's why I'm down here at the radio station. That's why I'm down here at the radio station earning a 7-figure income, and you're calling in and talking to me. Because
I don't care what you make.
I know. Well, that's what you say. Anybody who doesn't have any...
Money means nothing. You're going to take it with
you. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what... When you have nothing, that's when you say money means nothing.
Well, I can't take it with me. How do you... You don't even...
I don't need to take it with me, but I'll use it to get laid and to get what I want in the meantime.
Don't you have any higher aspiration than that?
I think it's pretty good. I know I'm pretty happy.
Aspiration.
I'm pretty happy about it.
So who are you going to screw in hell?
I don't know. Actually, I'll spin the bottle and I'll see who comes up. Thank you so much, Grandma.
The Tom Leykis Show.
5.
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
You betcha. From Los Angeles. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. All right, let's say hi here to Nick. Nick, what can I do for you?
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Nick.
You get my email?
I don't know. I get lots of emails. Which email are we talking about?
I sent you one about my buddy Hugo, who is completely whipped.
Your buddy Hugo is completely whipped by who?
His girlfriend, actually his fiancée now. And it's terrible, dude. He's already been kicked out of his house. He's lost his car. He's thinking of moving in with her. Bought her a couple $1,000 engagement ring.
How old is she?
She's 17. He's 20.
And you've been trying to tell him what he's doing wrong, right? And what does he tell you?
He tells me that, she's the best he can do and all this stuff.
Well, that may be the best he can do today.
Yeah, that's what I tell him. And seriously, it's like she's like his one-on-one student almost. I mean, she convinces him that he's a piece of junk and like that he doesn't matter.
So she lowers his self-esteem and stuff?
Of course. She goes out with other guys, and hangs out with them and makes sure he knows about it, and it pisses me off.
Really? Well, hang on. Let's put Hugo on here and let's see what the deal is. All right, let's say hello here to Hugo on the Tom Leykis Show. Hugo!
What's up?
Not much. You know you're on the air, right?
Yeah, I do.
Dean told
What's up, Hugo? What's up, bro?
Now, Nick wrote a letter to our production staff and had us call you for a reason. Nick, tell Hugo why we're calling.
Dude, you need to break up with your chick.
Dude, I already told you it's not going to happen.
Dude, see, Tom, I need your help, buddy.
All right, I'm going to jump right in there. Now, Hugo, is it true that your girl is going out with other guys?
Nah. I already sent all that out.
Nick, you just told me that. Nick, is his girl going out with other guys?
She's not hooking up with other guys, but she's hanging out with other guys.
Hanging out with other guys. What's that about, Hugo?
That's at her school. When she goes to school, she tells her friends there. But
her friends, her male friends who all want to do her. Right?
Yeah, man, I got no comment to that one.
Hey, Tom.
You know the answer to that, Hugo. Be a man and admit it. They all want to do her, don't they?
Tom, it is an ex-girlfriend. Or an ex-boyfriend.
One of them's an ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So she's hanging out with her ex-boyfriend, and you're okay with that, are you?
Well, I kind of trust her in a way.
You do? Hey, you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Really? Now, Nick tells us that you told him that you can't do any better than this.
That I can't do any better than her?
Yeah, could that be because you're 20 years old?
No.
Oh, no. This is the best you could ever possibly do for the rest of your entire life. So you're telling me when you graduate college, you get a degree. What is it you're studying, by the way?
Business.
Business. So you're telling me that after you become, what do you want to become when you get your business degree?
What I become, I'm going to own my own shop.
What kind of shop?
Motorsports and aftermarket.
All right. So you're telling me if you start this business and it becomes phenomenally successful, and you're 26, 27 years old, you're telling me you can't find an 18-year-old at that time who today would be like 12?
I'm not even tripping. It's not even about anything like that, you know.
It's what?
It's not even anything about like that, you know. Even she knows I can go out and do better than her.
Well, if you can do better than her, why wouldn't you?
I don't know. Stuff we've been
You don't know? Wait, stop. You don't know? If you can do better, why don't you?
I don't know.
Well, pal, you either can't do better, or if you can, then you should be. Why do you need a girlfriend this young? And why are you giving her an engagement ring, for God's sake? She's 17.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know. So do you always do things and you don't know why you do them?
No, not really.
Yeah, so do you make major life decisions and then you don't know the reason for the decisions? Is that what you do?
No, I basically make my decisions based on knowing at least now knowing what I'm going to do.
But you don't know what you're going to do. Do you know how successful your business might be? Do you know if you'll be a rich man? Do you think you might be?
Yeah, that's what I'm working for. It's my goal.
Right, well, if you can do better than her, why would you commit to her?
Because there's a lot of things that my bro Nick does not know that me and her have been through.
Yeah, like what?
A lot of things.
Well, tell us.
I can't.
Why not?
Those are things I don't want to let out.
What kind of things?
Just things I can't let out.
Things. What? Did she have an abortion? Did she have a baby? What?
No, nothing like that.
What's it? Just give us a hint.
Dude, I honestly can't say.
Hugo, we're trying to help you out, dude. Come on.
I know you're trying to help me out, bro, but...
She's 17. She's a baby. She's a baby. And she hangs out with her ex. Don't you see the trouble there?
Yeah, well, then it's kind of hard, too, when I hang around my ex also.
Well, then maybe the two of you aren't ready for a relationship.
But see, here's the thing, though. I trust you because those are just your friends. You trust me because those are all just my friends.
That's not the point. Why do you need to hang around with an ex?
I don't know. My ex is engaged. Right? My ex is married.
I don't care. That doesn't mean anything. Why do you need to do that?
I don't know.
Why do you need a committed relationship at 20 years old?
Not even I know.
Well, then, if you don't know, then that should tell you something.
He says he's in love, Tom.
Yeah, well, you know what? We all think we're in love at that time. Hugo, I'm going to tell you something that I've told other young men. I'm going to tell you.
All right.
You're a surrogate father here.
All right.
I got married at 18.
Okay.
It was the biggest mistake of my life.
Uh-huh.
But I thought I knew what I was doing. And I learned the hard way. And you know how I learned the hard way?
Yeah.
Because I knew at 18 what I wanted to be when I grew up. I knew what I wanted to do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I was with somebody who said she supported it and was all about that, and it was great. And one of the things I said was, because I'm going to be working my way up in the radio business, I'm going to be moving around a lot, and I can't have children. Can't do it. Because I need to be free to pursue my career. And she said that she understood.
All right.
And then she married me.
Okay.
And then a year and a half later, she said, I changed my mind. I want to have children.
All right.
And then I had to say to her, guess what? I didn't change my mind. I want a career.
All right.
And she threatened to have a baby and threatened to stop taking birth control.
Uh-huh.
At 17, these girls don't know what they want and what they're going to be. And you don't either.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. They don't. They don't. And you don't. Why can't you just bang her?
Why can't I?
Yeah.
Because I'll go to jail.
Well, do you bang her?
No.
So, all right, well, I'm glad you're not breaking the law, but think about this. You're spending all this money on someone you can't even bang.
Money?
Yeah, a $3,000 engagement ring, dude. Where's that money coming from?
Where's that money from?
Yeah,
savings account.
Savings account. Why isn't that money like paying your tuition or being put towards mutual funds or stocks or something to build up your wealth?
Because I look at it this way. I do pay my tuition. I pay my bills. I pay all that stuff.
How about putting some money away and investing for the future? Have you ever thought about that?
I'm going to be putting it into my car, so.
Yeah, you know what, though? You should be putting that into your future. Do you have a father?
Do I have a father?
Yeah. Are your parents married?
Yeah, my parents are married.
They're together still?
Yeah, they're still together.
They're still together. Where's your father in all this? What does he think?
Where's my father?
Yeah, what does he think about all this?
Well, my dad doesn't really tell me much anything anymore.
Why not?
Because anytime me and him talk about something, we always end up arguing, so a long time ago.
So, in other words, you think he'd probably disagree with you on this, like he disagrees with you on so many other things.
Well, basically, I don't know. We disagree on a lot of things. We always end up fighting, and basically we agreed a long time ago that he was just...
I see. So you don't need your father's advice. You know better. You know best. Now, Nick, what did you tell Dino about Hugo and his car?
That he lost his car.
Lost it how?
I don't know. He was,
I mean, he forgot where he parked it at the Beverly Center? What are you talking about?
I heard that his girlfriend was driving it and she got caught. Without a license.
Without a license. Is that true, Hugo?
Yeah.
Do you think that's mature? I'm asking a question, a direct question. I want an answer. Do you think that's mature?
No.
No. And that's who you want to commit yourself to here. What else did you tell Dino, Nick? I want to hear all of it. Hugo was kicked out of his parents' house?
That's what I heard recently.
Kicked out? Is that true, Hugo?
Yeah.
Why were you kicked out?
Because...
I think that and the car issue were the same deal.
Yeah.
So, what, your parents bought you the car?
Huh?
Your parents bought you the car?
Actually, I did.
You bought the car?
Well, I used my mom's credit to get the car.
I see. And what happened to the car? I mean, your girlfriend got nailed without a license. Did they take the car when you're driving it without a license?
Well, no.
I think his parents caught him.
So what happened to the car?
Yeah, it's in my parents' garage.
And do they own it, or do you?
Legally, it's registered under their name, but I pay for it.
Yeah, but it belongs to them.
You want to put it that way, I guess?
Well, it's in their garage, and their name is on the license, the registration. It belongs to them.
All right.
Right? And you let your girlfriend, who has no driver's license, drive the car.
Yeah.
So you're not very mature either.
It's not.
What does that do to your car insurance rate when your girlfriend gets pulled over without car insurance and without a license? What does that do? You ever think about that?
Yeah.
And what about that?
I just pray to God she doesn't get caught.
You pray to God, I see. You think God's going to bail you out of that? She already got caught, didn't she? Thanks, God. Good work. Let's thank God for good work on that. Very nice. Thank you, God. And is it also true, Hugo, that you almost lost your job?
No.
Nick?
I heard that from someone else. I didn't hear that from you. But
yeah, dude. It's not with my girlfriend. My boss was...
Well, you can't say that on the air.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Either one of those, buddy.
Well, yeah, my old boss was a jerk. I told him off, and he wanted to fire me. So.
Well, yeah, but aren't you always talking to your girlfriend at work and arguing with her and everything and bringing drama to work and stuff with the customers?
No.
That's what I heard, dude.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not what happened. It's just, I was waiting for a raise that I was deserving for the past 6 months. I didn't get it. Asked my boss why. He got in my face. I told him off. He was going to fire me, but another manager from another one of our stores hired me instead.
So you don't think you're good enough to get a better chick?
Me?
You.
I don't know. I've never even looked at it like that.
Well, that's how you have to look at it.
How do I look at it?
That's how you have to look at it. You got this girl an engagement ring, someone you've never had sex with.
Well, I really don't.
And you just told me in the course of this conversation you could do better.
Well, that's what everybody else tells me.
Well, if you can, then you should, shouldn't you?
I'm happy where I'm at.
I'm telling you, Hugo, Tom knows exactly what he's talking about. I've been with Leykis 101 for probably 4 or 5 months, and it works, dude. Look at Gina, dude. Gina's all up in my, you know what?
Oh, yeah, I know Gina's all up in my, because Gina's a nympho.
You know what?
Who's Gina?
One of his girlfriend's friends who I hooked up with once and never called again.
There you go. So you nailed her and then moved on to the next victim?
Pretty much.
Perfect. Love that. So, Hugo, why do you need all this commitment? Why do you need all these entanglements at 20 years old? Why can't you just finish school, get your degree, build up a business, date as many women as you can, and then when you're 25 or 26, if you want to look at a relationship, do it then. Why can't you do that?
I don't know.
Now, don't say, I don't know. You're an adult. Answer the question. I asked you a direct question like a man. Right. I want you to step up to the plate and answer it.
I don't know. I like the commitment. You know, I haven't had a commitment for over 2.5 years. So
you don't need a commitment, Hugo.
You don't need any commitment. You're under 25 years old. This is when you should be having fun. This is when you should be experimenting. This is when you should be focusing on your studies.
What are you worried about, dude? Just try it.
Just try it.
That's serious, dude. Just try it. I'll take you out with me. I'll show you how it's done.
You show me how it's done, Nick. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got 2 bank receipts right now saying $57,000 and $74,000 in my wallet.
He's using the ATM receipt scam. That works really well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're laughing now, Hugo. You can be laughing when you see what you can pick up.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You know, I just started listening to you, and every time I listen to you, I just get more and more disturbed about your outlook on women.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom. It's Dan. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Dan.
I always listen to you, but I don't always follow what you say.
Well, that's not good. What can I do for you?
Not good at all.
Yeah.
Well, I start dating this girl, right? And
you mean effing her, because dating equals porking, yes. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we're doing our thing for the first 2 weeks. Every time. No condom. Should have done that, but I didn't. Anyway, so she tells me after one time, she says, you know what? I'm not one of these irresponsible, immature little girls you're used to. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, but why did you ever believe that?
That's a good question.
And you'd been a student for some time, and you still thought you knew more than the professor.
Exactly.
Yep. And let me guess, you didn't know more than the professor.
Unfortunately, no. Got myself in a bit of trouble. So, next thing you know, she's getting a little bigger in her chest area. You know, her butt's getting bigger, getting a little belly.
She's preggers.
She's telling me, I'm pregnant.
What's the question?
Here's the question. Supposedly she got the abortion Tuesday. I don't know.
You want to see the receipt, baby?
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I had a girl I was just booty call for 2 weeks, and she calls me up and she says, I wrote my mom a letter, and I told her all about you. And I told her, hey, you can write her another one and tell her you got dumped.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Another hour of Leykis 101 still to come, and you will hear a man who's going to dump that bitch in the next hour. And more of your calls and questions for your professor toll-free at 1-800-5800-TOM. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.